Hello everyone, welcome. I'm Zainab and I'm very grateful to be here connecting with you. Thank you for being here and taking a moment to turn inward, to nourish yourself and to connect with others who are watching live right now or who will be doing this practice later in their own time. Tonight, what we will explore is mindfulness of body pain. A lot of us are feeling body pain in different ways these days. Some of us are feeling pain in the body from sitting too much. Some of us, like myself, might have picked up new exercise routines or yoga or other types of movement, and there might be some new types of pain in the body because of that. And some of us have health conditions, chronic pain conditions that are always there and might even be worsened right now with the amount of stress that is in our lives. And so mindfulness of body pain is something that I hope exploring this topic is something that will help a lot of us these days. And what we will do is I would like to share with you 3 tips, 3 ideas, and then a bonus one, a 4th one in parentheses, for how to work with body pain, how to relate to body pain. This will take about 5 to 7 minutes, and then we will do a 10-minute practice together where we can put these concepts or ideas into practice and see how it works for us. So let's get started. The first tip or idea I would like to share with you with regards to body pain is to notice your own attitude about it. In mindfulness, it's very common that teachers share this equation, which is suffering is equal to pain times resistance. It's the sense that when there's pain, for example, you might have a headache, there's often an attitude of resistance that comes along with it. So this might be a sense of not wanting the headache, for example, pushing it away, wishing it was gone. This sense of contraction and resistance, basically, that might actually create a little bit more suffering than the pain itself. There's the pain itself, which is already difficult. And when we have this attitude of wishing it was gone, we actually create a bit more difficulty for ourselves. We might understand this by an example of when this doesn't happen. For example, if you were to get a tattoo, you would understand that there's a lot of pain involved with getting a tattoo, but because you have this decision of getting it, it's a conscious decision, it's an attitude of acceptance and welcoming the pain, it might not turn into a big suffering for you. It might even actually be something you look forward to, even though the pain will be still difficult. And so we want to notice if there is this resistance and if this resistance is making things worse. And the second way in which we want to check the attitude we have is if we have an attitude of curiosity or not. Often when there is pain in the body, we might put that in a box and label that box pain and not get more interested in that. And the sensations in the body can be quite specific and rich. I would like to read to you a few words of possible words that could describe different sensations in the body. This is not an exhaustive list and I'm not going to read every word that's written here. But for example, empty, achy, warm, cool, chills, twisting, stabbing, clenched, knotted, fluid, open, airy, tight, vibrating, heavy, sore, sensitive, tender, itchy, pounding, shivery, shaking, tingling, radiating, sweaty, burning, dizzy, or floating. So you get the idea. We could come up with so many other words, and the point is not to look for the perfect word. The point is to get a little interested in that box we label pain, what is actually inside it. And not just the quality of the sensation, but also the place. Where is it in the body? And you might pay special attention to the throat, chest, and belly areas, because these are usually where we have a lot of sensation. And the pain might be in your upper legs, or it might be in your hand. So noticing where the pain is and how it is changing, because sensations in the body are not stable. They might be stable, or we might experience them as stable. And if we can look a little deeper, or get a bit more interested in what's going on, we might notice some subtleties are changing and shifting. So to summarize, the first tip is to notice your attitude, if there is an openness and welcoming toward the pain, or if there is a resistance that's actually making everything so much more difficult. And if an attitude of curiosity can help you understand, name, and be with a little longer what's actually painful and what's actually uncomfortable. The second idea is expansiveness. So, for example, I have chronic back pain, and in my lower back there is a place where I feel is the focal point of the pain. So if you think of my left hand here as the focal point of the pain, what happens is when we become aware of pain in the body, so let's say my right hand represents attention. Attention goes and grasps onto that focal point where the pain is strongest. And mindfulness, at the end of the day, is a training of our attention. It's the ability to choose where we focus. So what we can do, if this is possible, is to expand the attention a little bit, so that you're not just where the pain is very strong, but you're a little more open than that, and you're noticing all the areas around the painful place where either it's neutral, or it's not painful, or maybe it's even pleasant. And in that expansiveness, sitting with that pain might feel a little bit more possible, or a little easier. And if you want, you can take this even further and bring your attention to your entire body, because your entire body will include a lot of different places where there's a sense of neutralness, or just, pleasure maybe even. And just like we did a few days ago when we were practicing Mind Like Sky, you can even take it further, expand your mind a little further, make it as big as the room you are in, or make it as big as the sky. And then you can sense what happens when you relate to that pain from that place of space and openness. When you hold it with that kind of space, it might feel a little bit more possible to stay with it. The third one is titrating and pendulating. So if you remember from chemistry class, when you took a little bit of one fluid and you put it into another fluid, which is called titrating, just like that, often what we do is we bring the attention, and this happens automatically, it's not our fault. The attention comes to that place of pain and stays there. But what we can remember is that we can touch the pain a little bit and then go back, so that's the pendulating part, to an anchor like the breath or the body or the sounds you're hearing that are neutral. So there can be this sense of titrating, touching a little bit of the pain, and then pendulating back to a neutral place, titrating again when you feel resourced, when you feel ready, remembering that the pain is there, and remembering you don't have to touch the entire pain, just a little bit of it is fine, and then pendulating back to a neutral place, kind of taking a break or taking a little bit of refuge from it, basically. Then the bonus point, the fourth point, or the parentheses, that's really actually still important, is self-compassion. So you also want to remember that a moment of feeling pain in the body is a moment of difficulty. So just like we did a few days ago, and you can find this, all of these videos I'm mentioning, you can find them in the playlist on YouTube. Just like we did the self-compassion break, you can just notice that this is difficult for you, and you can remind yourself that this is normal, that all the humans in the world feel some sort of pain in the body, and you can give yourself a kind response. So it can be just setting an intention for kindness, or it can be a compassionate touch or some soothing words. And the final note before we start the practice is the compassionate response is not always meditation. So if the pain feels really overwhelming, what you can choose to do is go lie down, take a really nice shower, or cuddle with your cat if you have one, or just drink a cup of tea, or maybe watch a show or something that will distract you from that really bad headache you have. So to summarize, having an attitude of acceptance of the pain as much as possible, and an attitude of curiosity to name everything in detail as much as possible, and expansiveness, finding a little bit of expansiveness, and titrating, so touching the pain and then pendulating back to a neutral space while remembering self-compassion. So we will practice all of this now. We will put it into practice. And I will invite you for this 10-minute practice to find a posture in which you feel supported. So support usually means two things: that you feel wakeful and you feel relaxed. You don't feel tension in the body that isn't needed. And when you feel you are in a posture like this, either sitting on a chair or sitting on the floor or standing or lying down even, you can close your eyes or just lower your gaze and begin to turn inward. And you can begin this meditation simply by noticing your feet on the ground. So your right foot first, and then your left foot. And you might notice the sensations or the quality of this touch, this connection you have with the ground underneath you. And if your body is in contact with the ground in any other place, like your legs or your back, you might notice the quality of this touch in those areas. And you might imagine that you have roots and connections that go way down into the depths of the earth, really grounding yourself to this touch, to this connection. And then from here, you can let the attention travel upward, noticing the rest of your body sitting or standing here in this moment. You can notice the breath and how the body is breathing itself. And if it feels helpful, you can take a few full-body breaths, slowing down every inhale and every exhale. And each time you exhale, letting go a little bit more, relaxing the shoulders, relaxing the face and the hands. And arriving to this moment, here and now. Sylvia Borstein says, may I meet this moment fully, and may I meet it as a friend. So exploring this sense of meeting this present moment here and now fully and in a friendly way. And now as we begin this meditation, you might scan your body for a slight pain or a sense of discomfort somewhere. So this doesn't have to be anything big. In fact, it's better to choose something that's a 4 or 5 or less. It can be a small, unpleasant feeling, maybe a tight muscle somewhere, or just a dull pain. And if you don't find any sensation, that's okay. So not forcing sensations to be there, just simply scanning the body. And if you do find this unpleasant sensation or pain or discomfort, you might begin to cultivate a sense of interest and acceptance and curiosity. So you might begin by saying yes. Yes, this pain or this sensation is not there, is there. And as you say yes to this unpleasant sensation, you might begin to notice your attitude about it. You might ask yourself, what about my experience is making this unpleasant or painful? And you might notice if there is a sense of resistance, not wanting this pain or sensation to be there. A sense of pushing it away. And you might notice what this resistance feels like in your body, if it has a place or a quality. And for getting curious, you might begin to notice the sensations in a bit more detail. So this area of pain or discomfort could be numb or warm or cool or tight or open. There could be an aching, a shivering, heaviness or soreness. And these sensations might be moving around, even if a little bit, and changing moment to moment. And you might also begin to notice the space around this place of discomfort or pain. So opening up your attention a little bit. For example, if the sensation or pain is in your ankle, opening up the attention and awareness to your entire leg or your lower leg. Or maybe just the immediate area around your ankle. And you might begin to notice what is here. Naming the sensations you find in this larger space. There might be pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral sensations. And you might then expand the awareness a little wider and include the entire body in your awareness. And you might notice what's here in this larger landscape. And you might notice how this feels maybe different from focusing the attention on the exact place of pain or discomfort. So making this shift of being the pain or fighting the pain happening. And for taking a break, you might now titrate a little bit of the pain. So you might bring the attention back to that area of discomfort and touch a little bit of that painful or uncomfortable experience. And then pendulate back either to your entire body where there is a bit more space, or pendulate back to your anchor, collecting the attention on your breath, for example. And then repeating this, so bring the attention back to the pain when you feel ready, if you feel ready. And when you touch it a little bit, then bringing the attention back to a neutral and safe place. And remembering that it is okay if we sometimes don't touch the pain. And in the last few minutes of this practice, you might remember to be compassionate toward yourself. You might put a hand on your belly, a hand on your heart, and just say to yourself, yes, this is painful, this is difficult, And it's normal to have body pain, it's normal to have a headache, it's just part of our human experience. And then something kind, maybe I can be with this, or this too shall pass, or just the intention, may I be kind to myself, may I be tender and soft toward myself in these moments of experiencing this pain or discomfort. And you can also deepen your breathing to find a soothing breath that will help with the pain, to activate the parasympathetic nervous system, or call on to any other beings that might be resourceful for you right now. Any people or animals or plants or places, or maybe other larger beings that you would like to feel the presence of right now in this moment of checking in with this pain. And so just resting here for a few moments until you hear a bell, and noticing the quality of your presence and how you feel right now. So this concludes our practice for today. I hope this was of benefit to you, and please feel free to repeat this practice to learn these new pathways of relating to the pain. And if this was helpful, you can help this video reach more people by giving it a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments about relating to pain mindfully, you can leave them down below the video. And if you have any specific challenges that you would like to address in these live streams, please also tell me. I am collecting topic requests. One of the members of the community have told me that she would like to practice wise and loving speech. So how can we pause before we say things that might be harmful to others or to ourselves? This will be the practice of tomorrow. So I will see you and connect with you tomorrow at the same time, 7:30 p.m. Paris time, for an exploration of wise and loving speech. Hope to see you there, and don't forget to subscribe to receive notifications of the new videos that are posted. Take care and be well.